Community College in the amount of $329,566.63, and that is their tax settlement for March. Claim number 3,997 is to Southern Electric Corp of Mississippi for $100,800, and that is for the Midpoint Park lighting project. And we present those two claims for your approval at this time.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor of?
Aye.
Opposed to? Motion passes.
I'm not voting no, Mr. President.
One not voting.
Thank you very much. On your other claims of interest this morning, you had a claim for Welch Ronald Reed for the Gates v. Collier, Chambers and Gaylor Law Firm for the continuing disclosure information statement, and Dorian Turner, PLLC, for professional services for the Mental Health Commission, and your election commissioner claims. And none of those have been separated at this time. The remaining document in your package of last week were your grant claims. They do appear to be in order. Back to your regular claims at this time. Their claim numbers 3,634 through 4,004, less claim numbers 3,636, 3,743, and 3,997 that you've already handled. We present the remaining claims for your approval.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor of?
Aye.
Opposed to?
No.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. We have the order approving the claims portion of the minutes for today, Monday, May 7, 2012, for your approval.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor of?
Aye.
Opposed to?
No.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Mr. President,
Mr. Stokes.
I'll take a second to thank Ms. Carr
Yes.
for making the job a lot easier, just coming on board. And second, I've had some of the employees come. The statement was that she turned money back and we need raises. And I know how that feels, Ms. Carr, but until we get the finance, that's all we're trying to do. Once we get the reserve and the finance straight, we're going to try to help everybody get a raise, but with a reserve mandatory of $250,000, we just have to keep doing the tornado so it don't happen. And we thank you, because you didn't have to do it. You could have done it another way, and I know you could, so I want to publicly say that. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, and she's one of the only elected officials that actually does that, so we really do appreciate doing it. Okay, we'll continue with our printed agenda. And for that, we'd like to go back to our county administrator for a proclamation declaring May as Older Americans Month.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I will have Mr. Clarence Williams or Ms. Mamie Brown will present to you. Mrs. Mamie Brown will present to you the proclamation for declaring May as the Older Americans Month. Thank you, Mrs. Brown.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning.
Good morning, other members of the board.
Good morning.
I'm here this morning to share with you a proclamation for Older Americans Month. Older Americans Month 2012, a proclamation. May is Older Americans Month. This year's theme is Never Too Old to Play. Whereas Hinds County, Mississippi is a community that includes over 36,000 citizens and older. And whereas Hinds County, Mississippi is committed to helping all individuals maintain their health and independence in later life, and whereas the older adults in Hinds County, Mississippi have an important role in sharing knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the history of our community through interactions with children, youth, and adults from all other generations. And whereas the fruits of knowledge and experience can be effectively transferred from generation to generation through meaningful social interactions. And whereas their interactions with family, friends, and neighbors across generations enrich the lives of everyone involved. And whereas our community can provide opportunities to enrich citizens, young and old. by enhancing and emphasizing the values of including elders in public and family life, creating opportunities for older Americans to interact with people of different generations, providing services, technologies, and support systems that allow older Americans and adults to participate in social activities in our community. Now, therefore, the Board of Supervisors of Hinds County, Mississippi, do hereby proclaim May 2012 to Older Americans Month. And on behalf of the entire board, I urge every citizen to take time this month to engage with our older citizens through enjoyable social interactions such as sports, games, contests, and other forms of play. Because remember, you're never too old to play when you're a senior citizen.
Amen.
Dated the 7th day of May 2012, Hinds County Board of Supervisors by Supervisor Robert Brown, President of the Board of Supervisors.
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second? It's been moved and properly second. All those in favor of?
Aye.
Opposed to? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Okay. Mr. Stokes.
I would like to say I appreciate you placing this item on the agenda. We have a debt of gratitude to our older citizens, and not only was it properly played, the wording was excellent and the reading was excellent also. So, sometimes we have to hope we can let the older citizens know we appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. The next item on the agenda is a request from the City of Barham to access an activation point for 3 warning sirens located in the city of Barham. These are siren for tornado or outside warning sirens for one location at Terry Road in Sywell, the other at Geary Road, the other at Springbridge Road and Terry Road. I'd like to defer to Supervisor Fisher to see if he has any other statements or comments that he would like to make on this, since a lot of this is in his district. I do agree with this. We also have an activation point at the Sheriff's Office, and this will only just be allowing the City of Barham to have an activation point to where if severe weather approaches their area, they will be able to activate these 3 sirens independently of the county, but also in conjunction with the county. I've also talked with Director Lewis, and this does not pose any type of problem with the county. But Mr. Fisher, do you have anything you want to add to this?
No, I think it pretty well covers it. If there's any specific questions, we do have a representative from Byron here. Raise your hand just so they know, just in case there is. I believe the city already has 7 that they put in at their own expense. Ms. Reed will make a total of 10. And so with that explanation and with no further questions, I'd like to move for
I
approval.
have just one question.
Okay. Question for Mr. Stokes.
This is the same agreement I would imagine we have with all other municipalities where we have sirens.
No. It's a countywide system. Clinton has their own system, and this will just be to allow the City of Barham to have an additional activation point where in addition to Hinds County being able to activate the sirens, then Barham will also be able to activate those 3, not any others, just the 3 that's located within the municipality of Barham.
Okay, now they want to activate just for tornadoes or other emergencies?
For whatever emergency they deem necessary.
Could we just make sure we have some kind of disclaimer to make sure that we're not held liable if anything will occur with the activation, that Hinds County is not liable for anything?
Right. The original letter was sent to Mr. Fisher and to the board attorney. So she has an agreement that she's going to release. I don't know if you're going to do a MOU or how you're going to handle that, but we're going to make it legal before we actually approve. But there's some legal steps that we have to go through as well.
Right. Should the board be inclined to approve or pass the motion, then I would get with the attorneys from the City of Byron to enter the MOU.
But the sirens are located within the city limits of Byron.
Correct.
Thank you.
I would move for approval.
Second.
And with the attorneys reviewing all legal documents to ensure the safety concerns for the county.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor of? Opposed to? Motion passes. Will the clerk please read the order?
Resolved to approve entering into an MOU with the city of Byram for access to warning signs in the event of an emergency.
Okay, thank you very much. And the last item on my agenda was I'd like to ask for Ms. Sims to come to the front. This is just a resolution on behalf of some young people, and I thought that it would be very good to let them at least see how the county is working or supposed to work. And so she has a resolution that she wants to read on behalf of the schools and state school too. Ms. Sims.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to the Board of Supervisors. The Board of Supervisors of Hinds County, Mississippi supports the Stay in School Tour. Whereas education is a key factor in the continued economic development of this county and country, and its ability to enhance the quality of life for its citizens, as well as compete within global world markets. Education remains a major component in empowering people and increasing the economic, social, and personal well-being of all citizens in a pluralistic society. And whereas high school dropouts are much more likely than their peers who graduate to be unemployed, living in poverty, receiving public assistance, in prison, on death row, unhealthy, and ultimately parents of children who drop out from high school themselves. And whereas the high school dropout rate has major implications on the development of a productive labor force currently and in the future. A high dropout rate diminishes the pool of qualified people from diverse backgrounds who will enter the professional and political ranks, thereby making their representation among many of the policy and decision-making agencies in the country limited. And whereas high school dropouts, on average, earn $9,200 less per year than high school graduates, and about $1 million less over a lifetime than college graduates, and is more than 8 times as likely to be in jail or prison as a person with at least a high school diploma. Studies show that the lifetime cost to the nation for each youth who drops out of school and later moves into a life of crime and drugs ranges from $1.7 million to $2.3 million. And whereas 1/3 of all public high school students in America fail to graduate high school, that's a 16.8% high school dropout rate in the state of Mississippi, 18.6% in the Hinds County public school system, 24.3% in the Jackson public school system, and 8.7% in the Clinton public school system. And whereas Sonic Signature, a local recording business, seeks to bring awareness to the youth of our community in an effort to help decrease the high school dropout rate by hosting an annual Stay in School tour to begin in Jackson, Mississippi on May 20th, 2012, where youth will have access to information on educational services and the importance of staying in school, provided in a safe, drug-free, and fun environment. And therefore, be it resolved that the Hinds County Board of Supervisors commend Sonic Signature for its contribution and commitment to decreasing the high school dropout rate in localities within Hinds County. And be it further resolved that the Hinds County Board of Supervisors endorses the first annual Stay in School tour, and the clerk is directed to spread a copy of this resolution across the official minutes of this board, and a suitable engrossed copy is presented to Sonic Signature.
So moved.
Okay, it's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor of? Discussion, Mr. Stokes.
Mr. President, do you have any of the people with signage here with us?
Thank you, Ms. Sims.
Yes, sir. There are representatives in the audience if you'd like to have them come up.
Yes, please. And while they come, Mr. President, I want to thank everyone involved, because we have too many young people that's dropping out of school. And normally when they drop out of school, Mr. President, they substitute crime for public education, for school education. Anything we can do, anything we can try, it helps send a message that everyone needs to stay in school. And again, I'm thankful. I don't know where it's going to be held at and what time and those things.
Okay, just gonna, first of all, I'd like to thank y'all for having us this morning.
Just state your name for the record.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm sorry. My name is Maximilian McKinney. I'm representing Sonic Signature. I have Mr. Leroy Jones here with me.
I'm Janet Shoemate.
Mr. Eric Dodd. And the event will take place Sunday, May 20th at Grants Down in Jackson, Mississippi, right off of Forest Avenue Extension. We'll be having Emmanuel Phillip Hudson, some young guys, I think they're from Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. But they're very popular with the kids. They've been going around the country touring and performing with a positive message that they been implementing in the kids. And of course, it's the Stay in School tour. And that's where it's going to take place and when.
Now, the only thing, you got tickets on here. Now, some of them can't. No, I'm not going to say. I'm going to say for the ones who cannot afford it. Because a lot of young people have more money than big. No. But those who might not can afford it, are there provisions where they can still come?
Yes, sir. We will be making provisions for those who would like to come, but may not be able to afford it. We are having some promotional giveaways for the event, including passes, tickets, T-shirts, and things of that nature. Welcome to call, come by the studio, and we will set up provisions to make that place. We will be contacting the schools to get in the schools to make them aware and see what else we can do to make sure we get a good turnout to provide the message to the youth.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, Mrs. Calhoun.
Generally, when you see a group of males encouraging young people to stay in school, they are older males. But I want to congratulate and commend you as being young men encouraging our youth to stay in school. You look like a group of high schoolers yourselves.
Thank you. Good way to remove from high school, but thank you.
All right, is that Ms. Sims or will, okay. We need a motion.
Already made.
So already motion?
No,
In a second. Okay, all those in favor of?
Yes.
Opposed to? Motion passes. Will the clerk please read the order? Just, you can just read the last, the date of the...
Resolved to approve a resolution of the Board of Supervisors of Hinds County, Mississippi in support of the state and school.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you all for appearing here this morning.
Thank you all.
Okay?
Mr. President.
Mr. Stokes?
In the background information, she mentioned that 24% dropout rate for Jackson Public Schools. Now Jackson Public Schools is different in terms of their numbers, but I know we see so many young people. I think that's close to the reality of it. Now, they're going to tell us some other numbers, but, and that's a lot, 24%. So we're talking about almost 30,000 students. 10% would be, 3,000, 20% would be 6,000. You're talking about, 7,000, maybe around 7,500 young people dropping out.
That's a lot. And so we really appreciate the fact that we can have this resolution.
Excuse me, Supervisor. Those statistics were also provided by the Mississippi Department of Education Office for Compulsory Attendance, and they're also going to be helping in conjunction with the Sonic Signature Stay in School Tour.
And that's a blessing. We have to do a lot to make sure we can keep these young people in school. The only chance they're going to have, the major chance, I'm not saying all of them, until they stay in school. Thank you.
Okay. We'll now go to continue our printed agenda to the Honorable Phil Fisher, District 4.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last Friday, I guess 2 Fridays ago, I had the honor of attending the Mississippi Heritage Awards. Pamela Leonard was there with us, representing Canizera Carlton Davis. I'm sorry, I forgot the name there. And the Raymond Courthouse was a recipient of a very prestigious and honorable award. And I think it continues on with what seems to be a day of good news between the citizens, the Older Citizens Month, the motion that we just passed there, of course the award we gave to the Highway Patrolman, and this Mississippi Heritage Trust Award of Excellence for the Raymond Courthouse. Pamela Leonard and her firm did a great deal towards, well, actually they kind of headed the whole thing on the courthouse for us. And they had a very ambitious and difficult project starting for the first time that a 150-year-old plus building had been maintained and actually rebuilt. And this was a real great honor. Let Pam talk about it a little bit because she knows more about it. I just know I've read about buildings throughout the state that have received this award. So Pamela, go ahead, and if you wouldn't mind, just speak for a few minutes on it.
The building or the award?
The award and the building.
All right. Well, the award is a Mississippi Heritage Trust Award. We did receive an Award of Excellence, which is one of the highest awards that they give Friday, and so we're real proud of that. The building, of course, started with an interior or an exterior restoration stabilization. We had bees and bats and all kinds of exciting things to deal with, and got the exterior stabilized, and we did the interior and restored that, restored the courtroom, and got that back ready for hopefully maybe another 150 years for that building to survive for us. There's some photographs here of the restored building. There's some before shots here, the before dark, and then brightened up the courtroom and those sorts of things. So the feedback's been really positive. Everybody's really excited about that. Michael Harrington's here, played a big role in that with the county, working with us as our liaison on that. And we're just real proud of the award and for the county and all of y'all's work to make this project happen and keep that building a real jewel for the state and the county. And my boss is here, Steve Davis.
Steve also was there. It was a real great event. I also took the liberty, at my own expense, Mr. President, I didn't charge it to the county, to frame the program.
It may not have got approved.
That's right. To frame the program so that people who look at the award will be able to see what other cities were represented. But just on that day, Biloxi, Jackson, Collins, Louisville, Mississippi State, Canton, Brandon, Pass Christian, Bay St. Louis, Magnolia, Meridian, Hattiesburg, just a few of the cities that were represented on this. So you can see it's a great, prestigious thing to have such a statewide recognition for our courthouse. So we appreciate it, Pam. I know that you had a lot of fun doing that. Mm-hmm. Got to know a lot of people in the courthouse real well.
Absolutely.
And so we thank y'all for your hard work and your efforts and your concern for the historical preservation of that very important building in our county.
Okay, let's give him a hand. Mrs. Carroll.
Thank you very much.
Pam is correct when she said before the restoration of the courthouse there were bats and rats and bees. But from the bees we did get some souvenir items. I think the maintenance director got someone that farms bees to make some honey, get the honey from the bees. Yeah. But I haven't received my souvenir.
All right, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Mr. Fisher, you want to continue?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that the Hinds County Board of Supervisors accepts this award and that we present it for hanging in the Hinds County courthouse in Raymond.
It's been moved and properly second. All those in favor of?
Aye.
Opposed to? Motion passes. Will the clerk please read the order?
Resolved to accept the Mississippi Heritage Trust Award and to present and to hang it in the
Raymond
Raymond Courthouse.
Okay. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Continue, please.
Hey, Pamela, and Steve also told me before the meeting that after this break was over, go back to work. I'm going to put this up here. I hope I can position it so that most people can see it. The next item on the agenda is the Byram Norwell Road Parkway. And I have this, I brought this big map here that hangs in my office. My special projects officer was good enough to put tape on there so that you can actually see the path